Coming up tonight, activities celebrating NIB's 40th birthday began today with worship. And coming up in sports, fierce competition between junior skippers in this weekend's CBS Junior Nationals in Long Island. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. I'm LaDawn Davis. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, activities celebrating the National Insurance Board's 40th anniversary began today with a worship service at the Evangelistic Temple on Collins Avenue. There's no denying that the National Insurance Board has helped many Bahamians, but as the country's social security net celebrates this special milestone, the nation's chief stressed that emphasis must be placed on ensuring the fund's future sustainability. That story tonight from Siesker Adderley.
The government will rely on the National Insurance Board to institute its proposed National Health Insurance Scheme. It's a commitment the Christie administration vows will provide health care for all Bahamians. Prime Minister Perry Christie revealed at NIB's 40th anniversary church service at Evangelistic Temple Sunday that an actuarial review of NIB is being conducted by the International Labour Organization to determine how sustainable the fund is.
And it's interesting now that you are going through an actuarial review from the ILO. The first actuarial review was done through when I was minister, and I thought it's going to be an important indicator to the country after 40 years to have a review done by an outside party to assess the sufficiency of the fund so that we can guarantee to future generations of Bahamians that the fund is in good health and poised to take care of the country as we move into the future.
Recognizing that NIB's assistance programs have reportedly gone awry over the years, the Prime Minister believes once the review has been completed, it will put NIB in a better position to roll out the National Insurance Health Scheme.
We have to find a way to enable the average man to know that when it comes to health care, he can have access to the privileges that the Prime Minister enjoys, because the country thinks that much about his health.
The minister responsible for NIB, Shane Gibson, pointed out how the social safety net has played a very significant role in the overall growth and development of the Bahamas.
We've not only assisted with the benefits paid to its contributors, but we've assisted in building dozens of clinics all over the Bahamas. We've assisted in constructing many government facilities. We've assisted with the unemployment benefits, and we are now on the way to introducing a national health insurance scheme.
Despite its ongoing challenges, Prime Minister Christie called NIB a foundation pillar of a modern Bahamas. He closed by thanking the board, executive management team, and the employees for a job well done for the past 40 years. Siesker Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Environment Minister Kenrick Dorset confirming that international consultants will arrive in the capital tomorrow to assess another oil spill in waters on the southwestern end of New Providence, near to Stewart's Cove in Albany. Minister Dorset toured the site earlier this afternoon to assess the extent of the oil spill and its impact. The government anticipates the consultants investigate the source of the spill, prepare an environmental management plan for the Clifton area, and make recommendations. Minister Dorset assures that officials from the Ministries of Transport and Aviation, Environment, Housing, along with the Environmental Health Department and the Best Commission have all been advised of the oil spill. Some good news for vendors in the Blue Hills and Golden Gates constituencies, as plans are currently underway to rejuvenate the farmers market in that area. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources V. Alfred Gray confirmed that his ministry has partnered with the area Member of Parliament Shane Gibson to make those upgrades happen.
We are going to joint venture with him and expand the operation, and that's ongoing right now. I don't know whether or not I can say in the next week or two it'll be fully what we want it to be, but we're working at expanding it so that more stalls could be made available to vendors who are willing to sell their fruits, vegetables, fish, whatever it is, especially on the weekends. And so that is in hand. Mr. Cephas Cooper at my ministry is overlooking that, and I'm encouraged by what I'm hearing.
With the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute up and running in North Andros, Minister Gray also talked about his ministry's plans to facilitate the more efficient selling of produce from farmers in the Family Islands.
The sale of produce in the Family Islands would always be governed by the demand. Normally, the farmers do farm in the Family Islands, and they seek markets either in Nassau, Grand Bahama, or elsewhere, because most of the farmers in the Family Islands farm for their consumption. And so we are, with the advent of BAMSI, going to have a ready market for those who are willing to farm in accordance with BAMSI's rules and regulations. See, BAMSI now being in place, there'll be a new paradigm as to what people will farm for and the conditions under which they farm if they want to tie in to the BAMSI's experience.
A woman was reportedly raped through a track road in an area off Carmichael Road shortly before 2 o'clock this morning. According to reports, a female driver reported that she stopped in the area of a service station to allow another vehicle to exit when an unknown man jumped into the rear seat of her vehicle and held an object to her head. The man demanded that she drive to Bacardi Road, where he reportedly sexually assaulted her through that track road. Police say he then ordered the woman to drive him to Yellow Elder Gardens, where he exited the vehicle. An active police investigation continues. Students from more than 40 schools across the country will compete for championship glory during the annual Junior Joncanoe Parade, all set for Saturday, December 13th. The parade will cost the Ministry of Culture $1 million this year. Culture Minister Dr. Daniel Johnson boasts of an increase in the number of schools requesting to participate in this year's parade.
The champions from years gone by who had fallen away for some reason are back, and they want their trophy back. And so I think you will see people like D.W. Davis, A.F. Adley, some of the big boys, C.H. Reeves, GHS, those schools will be back in the parade. And we have to make a determination on it. We may have to do a Friday and a Saturday, because I think last year we had 30 schools. That could increase to about 40. And when you think about each of them having to pass once, well, the big boys want to go twice. That's like a 14-hour parade.
Last year, the Junior Joncanoe Parade took center stage at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, and organizers claim it was a huge success. So to reap even better results, Culture Minister Johnson says they are not only bringing a new twist to the parade, but are also beefing up security measures.
The police have really encouraged us as a ministry responsible for youth to have that in that space in terms of its safety profile and the capacity for them to organize really about 3,000 kids. You know, we made a transition from last year. It used to be Thursday nights, and of course Ministry of Education and the teachers, you know, poked us about that. Thursday, last week of school, if their determination, them kids needs to be resting and get ready for whatever's happening this last week of school. So it's a Saturday now.
And still to come, Paint the Lanes Pink, dubbed a huge success. That story and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, continues.